Now, how to keep in the center is the problem nowadays. Because there are so many alterations to our attention all the time, we have to alter it. Today, you have to say TV, then there's a politics going on, then this is going on, that is going on. Our mind is all the time changing from one to another, skipping from one to another. We are living in a very hectic type of world where our attention is not at all steady in the center. It cannot remain. At this juncture, thank God, the modern Sahaja Yoga was born or was found out. Formerly, one or two persons used to get realization. Very few people used to get realization. At the beginning of the tree of life, I should say. But I thought in those days of complete chaos and such a lot of pressures on people. They have no time to go to Himalayas and work it out. You have to have something very instant. But there was a problem with it. Supposing you try to enlighten people and they just get a wee bit, then what happens? Formerly they used to cleanse the body, everything, for years together and ultimately give the realization to one person, good for nothing. Nobody understood any incarnations, great prophets or saints, because they talked of some another world. That's why they crucified Christ or gave poison to Muhammad Sahib, did all kinds of things all over the world. With Sahaja Yoga, this mechanism is activated, where you have got this Kundalini, the power that manifests your self-realization. She is a power, I call it Shri, because it's the mother's power. She is your mother. She gives you birth, so she is your mother. And she is your individual mother. She takes all problems upon herself. Every time I have been giving lectures, people ask, but we have read in such and such book that Kundalini rising gives troubles. I just don't know. Either there are negative people who are trying to keep you away from reality, or maybe they don't know what Kundalini is. She is your mother, waiting all these days within yourself this power. In 3.5 coils, because it's some mathematics about it. And she is activated, then she rises. Just like a primule in a seed. As soon as you put the seed in the Mother Earth and nourish it with little water, in the same way with little love, the divine love, she is activated and she starts rising. With your naked eyes, in some people who have obstructions in the lower chakras, you can see clearly the pulsation at the triangular bone. With your naked eyes, you can see it clearly. Imagine a bone pulsating like a heart. And you can see the rising, and you can see its obstruction where it stops. Supposing you are a liver patient, it will go to your liver first, informing that first liver should be corrected. Or maybe if you are a great seeker, then she shoots off, comes out of your fontanelle bone area. But again she descends back to the problems where she has to attend. It's a very practical thing to understand. Sahaja Yoga, you cannot pay for it. is nonsense. How can you pay for anything that is living? When you pay for God, or somebody says, I'm God, or this and that, you pay money. I've been telling you, I've been here 4 times before. Every year I was telling you, you can't pay for God. God doesn't understand money. This is your headache. Why do you want to pay for anything that is living process? But nobody liked me at that time. To such an extent that in England they told me that Anglo-Saxon brain cannot understand anything without money. I was surprised, who has made this brain? God has made or somebody else? You cannot pay for it. That is the first criteria. It's your own right to have it. It's sahaja, born with you. And when she rises, she pierces through all these 6 chakras. The one chakra is below her, which guards the movement of the Kundalini completely, and rises through 6 chakras and pierces through the 6th chakra, giving you a cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Now, no one knows who is Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost is the power of God, is the desire of God. And she is reflected as Kundalini in the triangular bowl. That desire is the pure desire within us. All our desires are impure because they never give us satisfaction. Economics says that in general, wants are not satiable. So now we have got the knowledge about the mechanism, but it must work. For example, in this hall you see beautiful lights are there, and you must have just put one switch and everything must have manifested. But there's a mechanism behind it, a history behind it. All these centers are the milestones of our evolution. The last one is this. Is the limbic area, which is called as Sahasrara. If you cut the brain horizontally, you can see as if you have cut a lotus. And the inner part is a vacuum, which is the limbic area. So this Kundalini enters into the limbic area, opens from both the sides, this calyx, or the outside of this lotus, and pierces through that. Now, what is the calyx that we have formed? Are 2 balloon-like growths within us. One is the ego. When we work, when we do anything, we always think we have done it. Now just see what we have done. It's dead to dead. For example, from some tree they must have made this platform, which was a dead tree, made another dead thing. From something dead they have made the chairs. Now if you are sitting on the chairs, you can't sit on the ground. The chair sits on our head. Wherever you move, you have to take the chair with you, otherwise you can't sit. So this matter is trying to overpower us. That's all. This is the ego that builds within us. We have done nothing but just changed forms from dead to dead. Here I am talking about transforming a human being into a new human being, into a human being where there is spiritual light. In Sanskrit language, a person who is a realized soul is called as Dvijaha, means born twice. And also a bird is called as a Dvijaha, meaning the bird also comes as an egg and then becomes the bird. In the same way, we get a transformation. And that transformation brings us to a position where we are in absolute status, in absolute condition. When the Kundalini passes through Agya Chakra here, this one, is the center of Christ, she pushes down both these ego and superegos, which you see the two balloon-like structures. As a result of that, we get a soft bone opened up again, as you had in your childhood, and you feel thoughtless. There's no thought. If you want to think, you can think, but nobody is going on inside all the time. You feel the peace within yourself. And when she pierces through completely, then you feel the cool breeze coming out of your head. And also if this center is all right, you can feel the cool breeze around. As a result of that, the centers, which are like this, we can say, the centers which have moved because of our left and right movement on the sides and have broken the connection with the whole, again go back to their original positions and they get nourished. And the energy that was exhausted in them starts flowing. That's how our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual being is corrected.